There we go. I guess we are live at this point.
Are we live?
Okay. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
May have some people back.
Got some folks back. Holler out at us if you can hear us.
I've just sent a text to my wife. She only watches.
We're posting the new link. We just got kicked
Off.
We got kicked off. So I guess that broadband here in Jasper is no bueno.
Oh, we might have to go to that city of Jasper still.
Wow. If you're out there and you're listening, if you would shoot us a note because it looks like we got kicked from our last broadcast. And we're just trying to make sure that everybody is up to speed. It looked like our connection dropped.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out what's going on because what's interesting is the connection that is here is fiber. It's fiber. So if you're out there and you are listening, this is not on the payroll. We're about 5 minutes in right now. We did get kicked from our initial broadcast, but you can send and copy and share the link that we just posted to Facebook, or you can go over to Not on the Payroll at YouTube, and you can shoot the link over to all your friends in the Buna area. If you're over in Buna, we're going to be talking about Buna some again tonight. We want to thank our sponsors. Our sponsors are Stuart Glass and Lake Area Pond here in Jasper. If you haven't been over to Stuart Glass and you have some busted up glass, you got some broken glass in your home or in your vehicle, matter of fact, say you have a houseboat. Say you have a houseboat.
I'm not rich like you, but go ahead and tell me about
Say you have a house. Well, I'm just imagining like a pontoon boat that's been upgraded.
Oh, okay.
Sure. To have like a mobile home on top of it.
Sure.
Type of
Sure.
And you have glass in that, and you want to get it changed out, fixed up, Stuart Glass can hook you up with that. Stuart Glass, they've been around for years, and they have been supporting us for years. So here's the thing. Stuart Glass has got you taken care of as far as glass goes. Also, you've got Lake Area Pond. Lake Area Pond is here in Jasper for all of your pawn shop needs. You can actually go check those guys out. Like you said last week, you could buy a weapon and a gun.
And a guitar.
A weapon and a guitar.
And
That's
a guitar,
what I said.
yeah, sure.
Weapon and a guitar.
Sure, and I understand that they are the major gun dealer here in the fair city of Jasper.
They have a lot of guns. They have a lot of guns.
And
it was quick. Whenever I was buying, whenever I spent up my money, they
glad to see you spending money.
They were glad to see me, and I was in and out of there within the hour.
And have we shot the CZ and the Desert Eagle?
I have not. Here's the deal. With guns that great, you don't have to practice with them. Just get them pointed in the right direction. They do the rest.
Really?
That's been my experience.
That's been your experience?
Yeah, which is limited. So, but at the same time,
do you live within the city of Newton?
No, I do not.
You do not? What do you need to shoot in the backyard? That's what I would do.
The problem is my house is right at the city limits, so it's right across the
street,
the county line.
Oh, okay.
Or the city
line, right?
In the county. So I have some things that are city, some things that are county.
Okay.
And I just like to keep the police away from my house, so I don't want to go firing
Well,
off
I'm
my
afraid.
weapon.
I'm afraid why you won't go with the police there.
Well,
what you got in the backyard?
It doesn't matter what's growing back there, but here's the thing.
What you're cooking?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. If you're out there and you're listening and you're tuning in, let's see who we got here. Y'all are back. Yes, we are.
Yes,
Swingers in Buna. Is the club growing? Man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us where you at. What up? I'm game. I got a swinger shirt. I got them upside down pineapples.
Well, you saw where STDs are the highest level right now in the United States than they ever have been.
STDs?
STDs. So you wonder why all these people are walking around scratching? You know why. That explains it to you right there. Damn. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're just tuning in, we're not broadcasting tonight. We're just straight on. We are straight on whatever this is, YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, we're straight on YouTube. You guys, I don't know who's plugged into crime. People be itching for the truth. That's exactly right.
I don't know. They're itching for something else, but that's another story entirely.
Hey, you know what? You got to be careful where you put that thing. You know what I mean? So having said that, if you're out there and you're down there in Buna, y'all know about itching. Yeah. Be sure and send this out to everybody you know down there in Buna because we love you guys and we want to try to.
We actually love you.
I really do.
We worry about you.
Buna was very good to me.
It was good to me for a number of years.
You know, and I mean, honest to God, it was even better when I left. And so, I mean, you know, but the thing is, what we're trying to talk about here today is how was your week? How was your week?
It was interesting. Today is Maundy Thursday. I don't know if you.
What?
Maundy Thursday.
Monday, Thursday.
I know you're not from
No.
one of those Christian backgrounds.
No, I'm not.
But this is the day where, by tradition, Christ had the Lord's Supper.
Okay.
And Methodist Church, the Episcopal Church, churches such as that, they will have a service probably right now as we're speaking, and we'll have the Lord's Supper.
Monday, Thursday.
Monday, Thursday, and in most of those.
Is it just Monday, Thursday?
Monday.
Monday.
Monday. Monday is from the French, from the Latin, to mean a Eucharist service.
A Eucharist service.
A Eucharist, in other words, Lord's Supper.
Do you believe all that?
What's that?
You believe in Jesus and all that stuff?
Sure. Of course I do.
Okay.
I have to. I'm getting to the age where I have to.
Well, there you go. You know, it's kind of like Chris Cornell said, I'll pray to anybody who can get me to heaven. You know, kind of one of them deals.
Yeah. Well, I had a professor in school that was like that. Had gotten baptized by every church in Beaumont to make sure that he had covered all of his. And the last time I heard, he said, "I may have to give up coffee, and I'm gonna go get baptized in the Mormon church."
Start drinking Dr. Pepper.
Well,
Dr. Pepper's a big deal.
In those days, back in the 70s, you couldn't even drink any kind of caffeine.
Really?
In the Mormon church. Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah, it was grape soda and Big Orange.
Grape soda and Big
Orange. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, it's only recently that the LDS has started drinking Coca-Colas and Dr. Peppers.
Mm-hmm.
They still have tea and coffee.
Do you want to know how ignorant I have been?
Yes.
There was a period of time where I did not realize that LDS was not a part of the LGBT thing. If that's not crazy, that sounds absurd, but I just wasn't paying attention. I kept going, what in the world? What is this, like a part of the... It didn't dawn on me. So neither here nor there. If you're out there and you're listening, man, we're getting some back and forth. Water District drama in Buna. Always drama in that department. Well, here's the deal.
James Robinson. You remember James Robinson? He was in charge of SAC when you were there.
I never went to SAC, so I don't know.
He was a large black man.
Okay.
He was a native Bunanite, as we call it. My favorite saying of his was, as he would look out in Buna and say, "There is life beyond these pine trees," and he was absolutely right. And he would tell these kids, hey, come back to Buna, come back to Buna,
Yeah.
but go out and live their life for a little while someplace else because you might decide, hey, it's better off in Houston or Dallas or LA or Seattle or wherever else. But you can always come back home. But there's life beyond these pine
So
trees.
where is home for you? I mean, not I'm not talking about Lemonville, but where did you actually grow up?
From Viter. I've told you this. I'm an
Oh,
alumni.
dang.
I'm alumni of Viter High School.
No wonder you dump on Buna so much. They call them Buna Vider
Viter
North.
North, yeah.
Vider North. Who else we got? Mr. Robinson was right. That's what Heather says.
Yeah.
Heather Howell.
Yeah.
You know what I've been shocked by?
What's that?
And this is no joke. I'm gonna throw this out here. I have been really shocked by the effective time on most of the people in my class.
Oh?
Yeah, there's one person out there that I think looks just like they did when we were in high school. One.
Who's that?
That's Albert McMahon.
You know, Albert does look like Albert.
Albert looks
just like Albert, doesn't he?
I love that dude. Yeah. And what's funny is he was always super low key, super laid back, but he just looks like he's never experienced. And I know this is not the case.
And he went off in the Air Force for a while.
Yeah, but he looks like he's never experienced stress in his life.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
that's what he was in high school.
What in the world? You know, he's probably the most laid back dude. But honest to God, even the most beautiful girls that was at our school, which doesn't say a whole lot, but I mean at the same time there were some pretty girls, but you know, time kind of catches all of us, I guess. But you know, anyway. But specific with Albert, I mean, you know, and why am I talking about Albert? I was just thinking about when I saw Heather, the name Heather. It reminded me of somebody there that I went to school with. But you know, to me, I guess what would you say are the big differences between Viter and Buna?
Truthfully, honestly, nothing. And this is no fooling, not much.
Not much.
Viter's a little bigger.
Viter's a little bigger and has a thoroughfare straight through it.
Has Interstate 10. Well, 96.
Well, but Interstate 10 versus 96 is a little different.
Well, yeah, that's
true. I mean, you can pick up plenty of
true.
lot lizards and stuff like that.
Buna was as far as high school is concerned.
Yeah.
When I was there, it was a little different because I kicked it up a little bit. I'll be honest with you. But as far as school is concerned, it's not much difference.
Yeah.
It's not much difference at all. And, you know, they make the folks in Buna make fun of people in Viter, and I'm sitting there going, you're making fun of yourself.
Sure.
That's horrible to say, but you're making fun of yourself.
So what was some of the feedback from Buna that you got? What was some of the bounce back? Because I've been at the lake. I've been chilling.
Right. And I was going to send you. I was going to say, and I saw that you were at the lake, so I kind of held back. Let me turn and look at my notes because I wrote it down. I looked at the other day.
We're not sponsored by Sonic, guys.
We need to be.
We're not sponsored by Sonic.
We need to be.
So if you're here in the Jasper area and you see how much Sonic drink we drink, we need to be.
Tell Sonic that we need a sponsorship.
Exactly.
Apparently, and this is from messages I received from Buna, and a lot of them were from faculty at Buna, and I'm not going to say which campus.
Sure.
Apparently, we were the topic of conversation at the school last Friday.
Okay.
And the radio show, according to several people, as they said, wrote back, said, you're spot on.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head. It's exactly what's going on. Allegedly, the people in charge were furious because we had aired their dirty laundry.
Aired the dirty laundry.
Yeah, and they were not happy with us bringing out what had happened concerning the grades. Allegedly.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, here's the thing, man. First of all, the thing that bothers me about high schools and schools as a whole, it becomes its own. There's a king, there's a queen, and here are all the subjects.
Sure.
It's completely dictatorship.
Sure.
As a whole.
Sure.
And what's wild to me is if you if you look at this thing for what it's worth, they're supposed to be setting an example and representing what we want out of our students. The leadership is the ones who set that standard.
Sure.
And so I'm sitting here going, if that is the case, if that's the case, what is it telling everybody? Do you think they were pissed off because we aired it publicly, or do you think they're pissed off because we encourage other schools to go, or I encourage other children to go? Because I mean, maybe the kids didn't know.
I think.
What if you're a kid out there and you didn't know?
I think they are upset because they got caught. Nixon was going along just fine and didn't get upset and try to cover it up until he got caught with Watergate. Yeah. So I think that's the problem. Now, I wrote a blog on Sunday concerning what might happen.
Okay.
And one of them was they blame us.
Right.
They'll come up with a scapegoat, and apparently a couple of people have written me that there's already, supposedly, allegedly, a scapegoat picked out. And the scapegoat apparently, allegedly, has themselves covered. In other words, they have paperwork to cover themselves if they are scapegoated.
You know what
as
I
they would say. And I don't blame them.
I think somebody in Buna is watching too many gangster films who's involved with the school. Somebody along the way is watching too many gangster films, because just do your job. Do your job. And don't. My question is, why would the principal over the junior high pass all these kids?
Allegedly, of course.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Why would they pass these kids? Why? Is there money? Here's my question.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Is there an issue of money?
I don't know.
For the junior high.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Loss of revenue. I mean, I don't know.
I don't
All
know
I am is an alumni.
And why in the world they would go ahead and just send people on their way? And
I don't understand the sense
of it. It upsets me greatly.
Unless we don't know how many it actually was.
Yeah, and I have not been told how many it was. And to be honest with you, I don't know if they know how many it was.
Wow.
And it may be more than what we care to think about.
So if you said there's 100 kids in the junior high, which I don't know the population of the junior high, but I mean, as far as moving up, say you had 100 kids and 50 of them failed. What's that say about the teachers? Now, I ain't dogging off on teachers, but what does that say?
Have you been to junior high recently? Junior high, for all my practical purposes, it's so much of it is a fight for survival, not only by the kids, from other kids, but by the faculty.
Huh.
Yeah. And it's a whole nother world. And when you graduated we're in junior high, and it's a whole nother world than when I was in junior high. And junior high was awful when I was there. And we're talking the late 60s, 1960s.
Yeah, only thing I could recall from junior high was that there was this one kid named Jeremy who would run around during recess with his pants down. That's about it. He would go piss over in the corner, and all the girls would freak out, or he would run up where the girls were. But I don't remember. I mean, granted,
was this a view?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And so I mean, I'm sitting here going, okay, well, how much if it's a fight for survival, and we're going to give that caveat.
Sure.
Then the real question is,
we'll call it that. We'll call it that. Yeah.
The real question is, what's the point? If everybody's hanging on by a thread,
yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
What is the point?
Yeah.
I mean,
junior high is another world. Junior high is another world, and part of the problem in junior high is you're dealing with 3 years worth of kids that have been hit hard by puberty.
Sure.
And puberty, they don't know how to control themselves, neither boys nor girls.
Right.
And for some reason or another, nobody in the history of education, no matter where you are, has figured out what to do with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders as far as puberty and controlling them is concerned.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know
I've got no answers there.
Yeah. No,
You know,
I get it.
I dealt with high school kids
Sure.
most of my career.
If you're out there and you are listening and you'd like to chime in, give us a call 384-2626. That's 384-2626. And we will take your call right here live on YouTube. I am baffled by it. Almost seems in every across school as a whole, everybody's kind of feeling the same way.
It's like this across America. Is that what you're talking about?
Period.
Yeah.
Schooling as a whole. It's almost like we've come to the end of this road. And what's wild is when were public schools brought into the mix?
Well, you've got to remember, public schools really didn't get started until the turn of the last century. We're talking about
early 1900s.
Yeah. There were some, of course, in the 1800s, but they were not like they are today. And there's so much stuff involved with public schools today, and it keeps getting added and added and added, and to the point to where I haven't got a clue what it's going to look like in 10, 15, 20 years. Of course, in 20 years, I doubt I'll be here, but who knows? I would be 84. I may be here. I may not be here.
Yeah.
But, who knows what public schools are going to look like in 20 years.
Right.
And, and I'm wondering, what is the money being spent on?
Yeah.
What is the money being spent on? And so much of the money, I'm sitting there going, where's it going? Who's spending it? Why?
Yeah.
Because I see people that are not teachers, that are hired by these schools.
Yeah.
What do?
I got a friend of mine.
There's more and more of them being added every year. I'm sorry.
I've got a friend of mine right now, and he works, and if I'm not mistaken, he volunteers at the Buna Junior High.
Okay.
And he does coach work with the kids and stuff like that. And I have wondered, and from what I understand, I mean, he's got a pretty full plate.
Okay.
As a volunteer.
Okay.
I don't ever remember that happening in high school.
I don't remember volunteers in high school. I don't remember volunteers being at the junior high school at any time when I was in the business.
It's great.
Yeah, it's good. Somebody's helping.
But my thought is, if the administration's pissed at us for bringing this up, I wonder if they'd be willing to sit down.
Apparently, it's not only them, but there's people in the community who are upset with us, and I don't understand.
Down in Buna, wow.
And I don't know why, and I can't figure out
what's crazy.
And they explained to me why, and I didn't really understand. Other than I brought up a dark side of Buna, what's going on.
Here's the deal, man. Ever since you left Buna, your blog has been probably 50% about Buna.
I'm well aware of that.
And I mean, so it's not like that's a departure from what you've been doing.
Yeah.
And but the truth of the matter is, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, why wouldn't these guys? Would they be willing to talk to us? Because here's the thing: if we're wrong, we're wrong. Tell us we're wrong.
Yeah.
And then I've got no problem with that. We got some more people. Hey, if you're trying to figure out where we're at, we're just on YouTube tonight.
Yeah.
So let me see where we're at here. Hey, Mr. Thomas, what year did your comrade graduate? I can't place him. That's right, Ashley. You can't place me because I was in the first and the best class that graduated in 95.
1595.
Yeah, 1595. Now, 1995 is whenever I graduated. Let's see here. I'm not upset. Keep me informed. Are the people down there in Buna pissed? That's the question. Let me see. There's one more. Each school has their own clique of employees. It's laughable. No doubt about that.
Yeah, sure. Every one of them does. Yeah, of course.
So, but I would wonder if the faculty, not the faculty, but the administration, I wonder if they'd be interested in talking. Because I've seen the little guy, the fellow, I guess is the superintendent.
Dr. Lee?
I don't know if that's I don't know. I just know he's on Facebook and all that stuff.
Sure. He's a superintendent. He's a politician. They all are.
Well, and the thing is, I thought it was pretty cool because he actually does like these little town hall things. Have you ever watched those?
No, that would involve me having to watch a town hall.
Well,
I just as soon watch Perry Mason at night as I would
But at the same time, I thought it was interesting. I mean, I listened to one of them the other day, and I was like, well, hey, at least he's trying to get some information out here to the people.
Right.
And I think he was mainly.
But they all do
in-state.
now. They all do now. It's all, let's tell them what's going on.
It's all politics.
It's all positive information.
Sure.
And
I had somebody the other day. I had somebody the other day when we were at the city council meeting here in Jasper. This older lady, I think I brought this up last week, but this older lady stands up, obviously a grandmother, angry over the fact that people in the community were bringing up negative things. Stop bringing up negative things. And I'm sitting here going, accountability is not negative.
Yeah.
Accountability is not negative.
You need to tell people what's going on, the good and the bad.
That's exactly right. I mean, here's the deal. Just because brother so and so picks up the offering plate good, and he gives all the children candy, doesn't mean that we shouldn't bring up the fact that he's a pedophile.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How much of that crap is going on down there in Buna?
I don't know. I don't.
It's really the whole county. It seems like.
Yeah. Well, I was looking the other day. If you look at KJS's website, the
It's
news,
freaking
how
crazy.
many people have been arrested on some sort of child sexual molestation.
Yeah.
Holy cow! What is going on here? What are y'all doing? And
how many of them are churchgoers?
Yeah.
How many of
question.
How many of them were tithers? You know what I mean? I mean, honest to God, man, it's unnerving to me because whenever we stick our head in the sand on situations that need to be brought to light, all you're doing is, what's the old adage say? When good men do nothing, they've done evil enough.
Yeah, they've done evil.
So to me, if you're going to take information and you're going to push that to the side, and we're all going to sit here and we're going to kumbaya this thing and let it go on down the river, instead of speaking up and saying, hey, why are we doing this?
It seems like everybody now just wants to kick the can down the road and nothing happened.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is now. And it's getting worse.
It almost seems like we've been conditioned this way.
Well, you're right.
I mean, it almost seems like we've been conditioned this way. If you're out there, hey, somebody said Buna's pathetic. Well, here's the deal. It is pathetic unless you've been over to Viter. No, I'm playing. It's not just Buna. I do love where I live, but no, something say something. There you go. That's exactly right.
That's true.
Ashley. Here's the deal. Hey, if you would like and share, if you've liked our Facebook page, go over and subscribe to our YouTube page. We're trying to get up to a certain amount of users or subscribers, and I think we have to have like 1,000 or something like that. We're trying to get this thing going. But if you would share our live feed, we're going to be here for a little bit longer. But if you got something you want to chat about, give us a call 384-2626. That's 384-2626. And we can get you on the air. And you guys are starting to roll in here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Why you got to say my name like that? Because you didn't graduate in 1995, the best class that ever lived in Buna.
That was 1595.
Yeah, exactly. So having said that, what about the Christy Russo stuff? Because I'll be honest with you, this still pisses me off to think about this and to start hearing all of the web of stuff.
There is so much information that I keep hearing come out, and I do not know what to believe and what not to believe anymore.
Sure.
And it's, and I keep being told certain things that the police know, and they're just not willing or ready. Let me rephrase that. They're just not ready to act as yet.
Sure.
And part of it, of course, is because there's no body found.
Right.
And
nobody,
nobody,
no instrument,
right?
Of
no
death.
No murder weapon,
right?
And so
Which
they're,
is not
they're kind of,
uncommon.
yeah, but they're kind of stopped here, and they have people of interest, as it's been said. But they're really not, can't really press it yet. And my understanding is they we're not really going to press it until or if they find a body.
Okay.
And so I don't know. At some point, somebody needs to come forward and kind of point the police department in the right direction, or the sheriff's department in the right direction as to where to find a body. And to be honest with you, other than certain people, I don't think a lot of people who think they know actually know.
Okay. So my question is for you out there who are listening in Buna, what do you know? What do you know? Because here's the thing: we need, and the family needs, to get this thing wrapped up. They need to find this young lady, and they need to be able to have some level of closure. Because I'll be honest with you, it is really it's a sad situation, and the more I hear about it, the more I don't want to hear about it. Uh, but I do believe this. At the end of the day, this is somebody's little girl. This is somebody's daughter. And there's a lot of people down there in Buna who know about this thing, and they're not saying a word. And so there's obviously a fear factor going on here. There's people who are afraid of what's happening or afraid of repercussion, maybe.
Right. I think there are some people who are just absolutely scared to death of what will happen to them if they speak out.
Well, all I can say is this.
I think that they're just scared to death.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of I think there might be some credibility to some of that.
I think so.
I think there might be some credibility. I mean, at least as far as the groups of people that they're talking about being involved in some of this stuff.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. There is a way to communicate information about this to the sheriff's department and remain anonymous. There's ways to do that.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to be a wizard or Harry Potter or any of that other crap for you guys to be able to communicate to the sheriff's office anonymously what's going on, what happened, and the point A to point B type of thing, so that we can at least find where the young lady is and bring this family some peace. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know, and I don't know the whole scenario. I know this. It was what was relayed to me was very disturbing on multiple levels. And then at the same time, not only was it disturbing, someone lost their life potentially. At least this is my vantage point. Now you got groups of people out here who are involved, who know what happened and know what went down, and they're keeping their mouth shut. So to me, I would just really encourage you guys down there in Buna. We've got to hold each other accountable a little bit better. Let's see here, Benny Mac. Let's see. Can I get a quick recap? Well, we've been busting the.
We've been on Buna ISD.
We've been on Buna ISD again.
We've kind of talked about what we've kind of gone over once again what we discussed earlier and what we have heard back from the district itself, district people themselves, and people who live within the school district.
Yeah, so that's.
And there's a lot of people that are not real pleased right now with Buna ISD, be it the administration, be it the school board. A lot
They're
of people,
happy with us.
well, I don't know about that.
Well, some of
Yeah,
them.
some of them are pleased with us.
Well, to me, having a teacher who's on your side is kind of like having a cop who's on your side. You know what I'm
Is
saying?
that good?
I think it's a good
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about I'm talking about the blue collar people, the people who's actually out here getting work done.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I would much rather have a group of bus drivers on my side than a principal or a superintendent. I just would. I'd rather have the common people on our side in this process. And really, the side is this. You know, at Buna ISD or Buna Junior High, you've got this situation of whether or not somebody passed a whole bunch of junior high kids.
Right.
And with us bringing this stuff up, it's not that we're throwing stones at anybody. We're just saying, hey, why is this going on? because if you're going to be the example, if you're going to be the example for our children, and I say our children, and I use that loosely, but if you're going to be the example for children of the future, then my thought is, what are we doing here? And could we have done a better job?
And Jay, so many of the teachers that are there on the campus, we're talking about high school, junior high, they're done with Buna. They're looking for other positions.
Looking for other
And
jobs.
we're talking long-term people.
Yeah.
And we're talking about people who have certificates that they can put their application in just about any place, and they're going to get hired.
Well, see, what's
And
interesting.
we're talking about, hey, you can't afford to lose these people,
Right.
Because they're not going to be able to replace them.
What's interesting to me though is that whenever leadership, principal, superintendent, whatever the case is, whenever leadership decides to do something along these lines, what it does is it removes accountability for every reason or for every person who may have had a direct influence on those numbers.
Right.
It removes that, so no one's actually held accountable.
Right.
So say we're out here and you're teaching and I'm teaching, God forbid. So you're teaching and I'm teaching, and you've been there for 25 years.
Right.
You've been busting your ass and you've been doing everything that you need to do
Right.
to make sure your kids pass, even including bringing green beans. And so,
Large can.
and then my side of the table is I just go in there and kick my feet up on the desk and just try to hang on till 3:30.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And
Right.
then all my kids start failing, and they're all going to fail.
Right.
But instead of going and challenging me as a principal to say, hey, you need to step up. Looks like we got somebody on the phone. And honest to God, this is probably not even going to be for us. Watch this. You ready for this? Hello.
Hello.
You're on the air.
Are you on the air tonight?
Yeah.
What?
No, they got the baseball game going, but we got live
Live
streaming on YouTube right now.
I was trying to find it.
You trying to find it? Go over to. Are you on our Facebook page?
Yeah, I'm on your Facebook page.
Well, we posted the link on Facebook.
Oh, you did?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, I sure appreciate it.
Hey, not a problem. Appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you calling in.
What are you talking tonight?
We're beating up on Buna again.
Oh, no. Not for you.
Yep. We got to get the south part of that county
We gotta get
smelling.
South County out of trouble.
We got to get the south part of that.
Come on, Terry. Don't beat up on Buna tonight.
Oh, it's my job, man. It's
Yeah.
my job.
That's right.
You live for that, don't you?
That's right. Appreciate you calling in, man.
I just job. I know that.
Thank you, sir. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, give us a call if you want to chime in. 384-2626. That's 384-2626. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sitting here going, if the principal just does an automatic sweep. Now, granted, you said last week that it was a political hire based on the high school coach.
That's allegedly.
Okay. So allegedly.
Yeah.
All right. So are we talking about high school coach and athletic director?
Yes, sir.
So both.
Yes, sir. But don't they always go hand in hand?
In Buna, they do.
In Texas, they do.
Do they really?
Yeah. Well, generally in small Texas,
Yeah.
it does. Well, heck, we're not small Texas. Every school that's 5A and under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's a head football coach and athletic director.
Let's see what we got here. Also, when the physical evidence is so thin, it's hard for the police. Okay, so Ashley piped in a minute ago, said absolutely the sheriff's office does not release names unless they have to.
Right.
Which,
She's, by the way, she has a criminal justice degree. She has worked in law enforcement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's see here. These detectives have to be at the peak of frustration. So here's the deal. To me, with the Christy Russo situation, until someone steps up and until the body's found,
Right.
this whole thing is a dead end.
Yes.
Completely.
Yes.
That's a problem. We're not even talking about holding people accountable at this point.
Yes.
We're just talking about finding the body.
And I'm going to say something here that may upset some people in Buna. Might as well. I've already made half the county, half South County mad. I might as well make the other South County. I was also told by someone who's in the know,
Okay.
off the record, there may never be a conclusion.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's going to be very hard without a body.
yeah.
It'll be very hard without a body. And my thing is I know that somebody is listening out there right now who knows where she's at, where she's buried.
Sure, sure,
Somebody knows.
sure.
And especially somebody out of the 1,400 views that we had last week.
Well, I know somebody.
Somebody
knows.
knows
Yeah,
what's going on.
sure.
There's not that many people in Buna.
No,
I mean, how many people's in Buna? What's the population of Buna? 1,000 people?
I think it's 11, 1,200.
11 or
And we
1,200?
had 1,400 views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, most of Buna saw it. But, I mean, here's the truth. Somebody out there knows. And somebody out there is scared to death. And I'm asking you to take the time to go find a place of safety and call the sheriff's office. Go find a place of safety and call the sheriff's office and let them know what you know so that they can piece this thing together and they can bring a conclusion to this deal.
Do it anonymously.
Absolutely.
Do it anonymously.
Let's see here.
What do we got?
The convicted Patrick Frazee without Kelsey's body. I don't even know what that
I don't
means.
know what that means either.
I don't know what that means there, Blottenau. Yeah, I don't know what that means, man. Break that down for me a little bit. I went to Buna, so I'm kind of slow. And so, but no, nonetheless, I digress. Back to do you think the administration will come in and have a sit down with us? You think they'll let me go down there and interview him?
No,
You don't?
No.
Why?
no. I think they're hoping that this will blow over, that eventually we will shut up and go on about our business. And they don't think that, next week we will probably have another topic entirely. I don't know what it'll be
Maybe.
or not.
Sure.
We might blast Buna again next week because, we can.
The,
But who knows?
yeah, I think
But I think they're hoping that it'll eventually just all blow over. Yeah.
I think that a disturbing part for me as an adult is watching how this little construct has its kings and queens. And it makes me want to fight. It infuriates me because it's like inside of their realm, their God. It's like the superintendent's God.
Right.
The head of the athletics department is God.
Right.
And, the tenured people are God.
Yeah.
And so they basically walk around, and they're not held accountable by the public. I mean, do you agree with that?
Let me use the Vider North, Vider South analogy here. Vider itself, Vider
Okay.
South, has always had a leadership on down.
Okay.
And if you know what you're talking about, know what you're looking for, you know about it.
Right.
Buna has the same, except it's 2 or 3 times worse.
Okay.
And I did not realize that until I was there at Buna itself and saw what was going on. It has its own little clique that's worse than any school I ever taught
And
at.
from what
And I taught at schools, smaller
yeah,
schools
yeah.
my entire career.
and from what I remember, most of them go down to First Baptist.
Yeah, and
Isn't that the big clique deal?
Yeah. And there's some in the other churches too.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
That are
Central
involved, yeah.
and First Baptist
Yeah.
are pretty much the ones that
Yeah.
are running that place.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not knocking on anybody. I'm just saying. I mean,
And I hate to say
click
it,
in school, click out of school.
yeah,
So, I
and there
mean,
shouldn't be politics involved in church, but there is.
oh, man, majority of
Big time.
churches.
Yeah.
Somebody's chiming in here.
Big
Let's
time.
see here. All right. They found him guilty of murdering his fiancee. He burned her body, and they couldn't prove it. He got life in prison in Colorado. Interesting. Electronics leave a paper trail. Hey, that's great points. That's great points.
Yes, we know. Yes, we know.
That's pretty good. It's a case that happened in Colorado. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a case that happened in Colorado. Well, I think this. I think going back to the school thing. Whenever we were doing this before, back in early in 2012,
Back in the day. Yeah.
back in the day, first round, um, we I went and did an interview with Dickie Hazelwood in Kirbyville,
Okay.
and
I remember that.
went down there and we aired it. We did the recording and aired it.
Right.
He called me up the next day and began to chew me out over the phone.
I remember that.
And my response was, you made yourself available for the interview, first of all. And number two, there was no gotcha moments in that interview. I mean, I did bring some things up that most people don't think about,
Right.
but
Right.
that's
I remember the interview. It was a pretty standard interview.
sure.
And why he got upset, I don't know. Unless after the interview he came and says, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that.
Let's see the caller. Go ahead, caller.
This is Billy Thomas. Tell the guys, Jay and Carrie Don, that they're on.
We're on. We know, Mom.
Oh, you know that?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, we do.
Okay, well, you weren't saying anything, so I didn't know.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You might be looking at the old feed.
Okay, well, you're closing the door now and come in and sit down.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You're looking at an old feed.
That's it then.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate you calling.
Okay, bye.
All right. Hey, got to talk with mom.
Grandma called.
Oh, there you go. Got grandma on the phone. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'll keep you in line. But no, I remember how pissed he sounded over the phone, and I thought, and he was coming off with this "Who's your daddy" type of vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
bro, you might run everything in that school building. You don't run jack shit out here.
Right.
And so that's another one of the things I'm talking about with this construct. I remember some of the coaches just berating and belittling the young boys
Yeah.
out here. Yo, line that ball up. And I call them out, but I'm not going to because they're still there and still alive. But,
Yeah.
you know, back that ball up. I'll show you how far I kick. This,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
this measuring contest.
Right.
And I'm sitting here going, what sense does any of this make? You know, I mean, nobody's making over 40,000 a year. I mean, it's
Not, you know,
kind of sucks.
not in Kirbyville.
I mean, you've really got to leave to go make any money.
Yeah.
You know,
It's true.
and so I don't know, man. I just thought it was so weird. I thought it was so weird that he tried to scoop me up in that whole, by God, listen here, boy.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here going, bro, you have got no clue. Matter of fact, I mean, here's what's interesting. I was sitting down with a group of businessmen. This case in point. Sitting down with a group of businessmen, and out of about 8 of us at this table at a restaurant here in Jasper, there were 7, I would say 6 for sure, millionaires.
Okay.
And we're just sitting there and we're just talking. Well, I look across the way and I notice one of the local preachers. And he's one of these half-cocked, you know, I live in the bubble of my own construct that I've created.
Sure.
This old dude.
Sure.
I wake up and I piss excellence type guy,
Yeah.
you know. And so he's walking up to, because we're in the very back. We're the only ones in this back section. We're sitting there and we're talking. And this one guy who's sitting beside me, who is a millionaire, he says, watch this guy. He says, watch what he does. And he comes around, he's shaking everybody's hand. He's like, brother so-and-so, and brother so-and-so, and brother so-and-so, Michigan Church brother so-and-so. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there watching this guy, and I'm just wanting to puke because, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you know, this guy is so huge in his own mind.
Sure.
And little did he know, maybe he didn't know, I don't know, but he's just walking around with this whole, you know, tight, you know, button down, oh, yeah, oh, this type of thing. And I'm sitting there going, he could be bought and sold at least 6 or 8 times at this table right now. These guys, I mean,
Yeah.
he has no clue.
Yeah.
He's so self-absorbed.
Yeah.
And that's what I think has happened a lot in schools as well.
Sure. It certainly is. Once these guys get to be superintendent of schools, they think that they're a dictator.
Sure.
And for all practical purposes, the school board lets them get away with it.
They act like that. Yeah, I guess.
You
Do
know?
you think this guy is his name Lee?
I don't know the man.
Okay.
I don't know the man. I know that the faculty hates him.
Okay.
Or most. Let me rephrase that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, well, we don't know.
Allegedly, mostly.
Yeah, well.
Kind of, sort of.
Well, from what I've heard, a lot of them hate him.
A lot of them don't
They
like him.
do not like him at all.
Really?
Yeah. And
He's everywhere I see him. He's giving away awards,
I know that, but that's
participation medals, and everything. I don't, you know.
Sure.
I
I
mean-
need my participation medal from back in the
He's
back in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah. My God. Is anybody still working up there that was working with you?
There are 2 teachers at the high school.
Who?
Let's see. I know Kathy Darling is there. I know Melissa Stanley is there. She was not there when you were there. She was.
Kathy Darling was.
Yeah, she's been there forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she ain't the superintendent of schools at this point. Is what it is, right?
It is what it is, man.
Miss Kathy, if you're out there and you're listening,
I don't think she'd want the job.
I love you.
I don't think she'd want the job. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, well, she was always a sweetie whenever I was in school. She always seemed like a sweet lady.
She will work until she can no longer work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
she's one
I
of
get it.
those, you
One
know.
of those.
She's,
It's just in her blood.
yeah.
Loves the kids.
She loves school.
Yep, I get it.
She loves school.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there and you're tuning in, we're just on YouTube tonight. No broadcast tonight because of baseball and because Jesus' return is happening on Sunday.
Is it?
And so, well, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just
I
saying.
thought maybe you knew something.
Easter.
I need to sit the chair
Do
out
we-
in the yard facing east then.
do we-
First thing in the morning.
Do we need to rip on Easter at all?
No.
Are you an Easter guy?
No.
Don't tell me that. You
Really,
look for
I'm not.
every opportunity
Really, I'm
to
not.
dress up.
Yeah, but no.
Wait, do you have?
Recently.
Okay, this is something I have to ask you.
Recently.
Do you have a one of those old timey straw hat
I do.
things
I do.
that's like just
A
round?
fedora?
No, not a fedora, but just like a round hat, but it looks like you'd be rocking a corncob pipe.
No, I don't look like an Amish. I do not look like an Amish for a Mennonite. I do not. But I do have a couple of Panama hats. Yeah.
Okay.
When it gets warmer, I'll wear one up here. When
A Panama
one day.
hat.
Sure.
Is that what they call it?
Sure, I have
Okay,
a couple
okay.
of them.
Okay. Very cool.
Sure,
Very cool.
sure.
So how does Buna fix their problems? First of all, get off the drugs. Damn it.
A lot
Get
of y'all need to get off the meth.
I mean, listen, it's bad. Listen, I know some of you are wanting to lose weight. Have I told the story about so I had a friend of mine in high school who will go nameless. His mother was a lovely lady. She was always funny, always cracking a joke. I show up a couple of years after I graduated, gonna go watch a football game there at the school. And she says, this lady standing behind the counter, taking the money and giving the tickets and all that stuff. I handed her my money over, and I wasn't really paying attention. But she was just this little lady, and she says, "Jay Sharp, you don't recognize me?" And I said, I looked up, and I looked right at her face, and I could recognize her face, right? Because that's what I do. I try to get in and out of places without looking at people. But having said that, she says, "Do you not recognize me?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, where did you go?" So she was very large when I was growing up.
Right.
She was very thin. And I said, "Did you get on some kind of diet? What happened?" She said, "Oh, well, I got on that crack pipe for a few years."
Was she serious?
Dead serious.
Get out of here.
Got on the crack pipe for a few years, had to get my grill replaced, but I lost all that weight.
Wow. Wow.
Now you remember the lady back in the day named Susan Powder
Sure.
with the buzz cut?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
kinda
Yeah.
blonde hottie?
Sure.
Yeah. Who was also cocaine addict,
Sure.
selling her little workout program.
Yeah. Well, I thought she was LGBT.
Didn't make her unattractive.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah,
I'm just saying, I mean,
Yeah, but she didn't care about you.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm happily married, but I mean, but nonetheless, it was kind of funny because she lost all her weight on cocaine. I think it was cocaine or crack or something like that.
I thought it was straight cocaine.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, Buna, and y'all can kind of help me out with this because I don't have a background in drugs, but with specifically, what's the difference between crack and cocaine? What is the difference?
Well, crack is the crystallized form of cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
So you
And
take
it's smoked, and the
So you
cocaine is
take-
generally snorted.
so you take the crack and you crush it up into a powder to snort it. Is that how that works?
My understanding
I
is
mean,
they
what,
take
what,
the.
what was
my
your
understanding-
experience? What was your experience?
I don't have any experience, but my understanding is
Yeah, right.
my understanding is that it's cooked
Okay.
into the crystal form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's easier to sell.
Okay.
And it's more concentrated, and apparently is more.
But you
addictive.
smoke it.
You smoke it. Yeah.
You smoke it as opposed to snorting it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
because
my
I
understanding.
I
I may
never
be
really-
wrong here.
never really knew. I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you how I am about drugs. All right. So, me and my wife started watching Breaking Bad here about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Oh,
And I was going to binge watch Breaking Bad
Breaking Bad. Okay.
until one evening. This is kind of like the same story about my Farmtown experience. You remember Farmtown?
Sure.
So I'm up in front of the church playing a song, right? And I'm actually singing a song and playing to the church. And the whole time I'm thinking, did I harvest my corn this morning? Because if I didn't harvest my corn this morning, it's going to be a problem
You got trouble.
for the farm.
Yeah.
Okay, so specific to Breaking Bad, I'm sitting here watching Breaking Bad. Next thing I know, we're having these little night events where we'll shut down. We're going to eat a little bite. We're going to watch something on TV and go to bed. And I'm sitting here going, okay, what did he say that was? What? When I started taking notes, that's when I quit. That's when I had to quit. My wife's like, yeah, I think you're turning into a psycho. I mean, granted, I've probably blown something up, but, nonetheless, it's almost like meth can be made out of anything.
Sure.
Battery acids and
Sure,
all.
they used to be making it in 2-liter Coke bottles and shake it up and let it sit there, and it used to be able to make meth out of that. I don't know what the formula was,
Right.
but they used to make meth out of that. And I think some people still do.
So, what was the formula when you were making it? Did you make any of that in college?
No, there was no such thing as meth when I was in school.
Really?
It was not.
What was the
around.
most radical drug for you?
The people who did the drugs back when I was in college, it was all marijuana and LSD. And I was surprised at the number of people who were on LSD. And I'm sitting there going, why?
Yeah.
Why?
They're trying to see Jesus. You were going to seminary.
Yeah. Well,
They're trying to
this
get to
wasn't in
see-
seminary. This was at Lamar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. but
Well,
yeah,
Lamar
there
hasn't
was some-
changed from what I understand.
No.
I mean, maybe
No.
LSD is a little bit less
No.
on the Richter,
No,
but
and they used to buy it from down at Needland High School.
did they really?
That was back in the day. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Breaking Bad probably had a chemist down there,
Down at the
or a scientist. What was he? A scientist or? A
I
chemist?
don't know who it was, but they had somebody cooking it down there at Needland High School.
All right, let's see here what Ashley tells us. Crack is whack. That's right, Whitney Houston. Crack is whack. You remember when she said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was high on crack right there.
Crack when she did.
Yeah, she was smoking crack right before she walked out on the stage. I swear. She was just a lovely Christian young lady. She was before Bobby got a hold to her. Say whatever you want to. Nah, I have no idea. She may have been the devil. I mean, we're sitting here trying to spin the wheels of what's going on in Buna, much less Hollywood.
Yeah, I can't figure out what's going on.
I can tell you, they've all sold their souls to the devil.
I can tell you, I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in you since I left. It's just gone down. I'm sorry.
I'm disappointed.
I'm sorry.
I'm disappointed.
I'm sorry, it's gone down.
Well, I'll be honest with you. It's like I said last week. If you drive from 96 out on 62,
Right.
does anybody feel comfortable?
I don't. I go that way every night going home.
Does anybody feel comfortable?
No. Why do you think I carry a gun with me?
If your vehicle breaks down on that stretch, and I'm talking about,
why do you think I carry a gun with
I'm
me?
talking about where there used to be a Cane's,
Sure.
and where there used to be or there's a post office there, and a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
all the way down.
It's nothing anymore.
It almost to me seems like if they're going to be a town, they need to go.
New Cane's is out of business.
Cane's got bought out by Brookshire's, right?
No, not Cane's. Keeler's. Keeler's is out of
But
business.
that's Western Auto.
Not anymore.
Well, was it? It
was Western Auto.
Okay. So
It's
Western
no longer
Auto.
in business. They've shut down.
Well, yeah, COVID hit a lot of people hard. I don't know if
Right.
that's the reason.
Well, it just shut down recently. And we're
Like
talking
in the last year?
We're talking about since we started the show.
No joke.
Yes.
I remember somebody saying that. I don't know. I just think this. It almost, to be honest with you, Buna looks like the guy out on the construction job who hasn't taken a bath in about 6 weeks. And everybody walks around him and they're like, man, God almighty, that sucker's nasty.
And Jay used to not look that way.
It used to not look like that. It looked like people gave a damn down there back whenever I was there. That's what's crazy.
Look that way. I'm telling you, it looks awful. It looks
Somebody
awful.
needs to get a weed eater out, a lawnmower, some dishwashing soap. Somebody needs to get something. Because I'll be honest, it to me, it just looks like the worst. If you're going to drive through, now I'll be honest with you, Kirbyville is not too far from Second.
Kirbyville looks bad.
Kirbyville looks rough.
Kirbyville looks bad.
You know, I mean, most of
And
these.
Kirbyville used to look good. I used to think so.
Now, here's what's crazy. What's the best looking facility in Buna? What is the creme de la creme best looking facility in Buna? Name it. The new high school.
High school, yeah.
Now, I saw
Which
pictures.
I've never been in.
I saw
in
pictures from the gymnasium.
Right.
Is
Have
it-
you been in the
is
new
it-
gym?
I have not. So let me ask you this: would you be interested in going to a basketball game at the new gym?
I haven't been to one.
You haven't been?
I have been to one.
You have been to one?
I have been to one, but this was years ago. I have no desire to go to a new one.
You have no desire to
I
go to
have
the
no
new one.
desire to go to one.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, a few years ago, I knew some people who were graduating, and at the time,
Yeah.
graduation was still held in the gym. My understanding, the graduation has now moved back to the football field.
That makes sense. That makes complete sense.
Of course, the selling one of the selling
points. Yeah.
The selling points of the bond that they got the new gym was, hey, we'll be able to graduate people inside in the air condition because of course it's 95 degrees and 155% humidity.
Yeah. We don't want to put all those.
Oh, we don't want to put those people.
Shoe prints.
Yeah.
We don't want to put all the shoe prints out there on the
on the football field. Yeah.
Well, out there in the gym. Let's see what else they got. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so I used to work nights at Shell. Oh, bless your heart.
Oh God.
Now open the post office at 5:30 in the morning. I never feel uncomfortable. Maybe past employee. Yeah, but I mean, come on, Ashley.
5:30 in the morning, nobody's up.
Nobody's awake. Even the meth heads have gone to bed.
Yeah.
I mean, for real.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
But all I'm saying is this: it may not be bad, but it feels nasty. It feels like somebody
Jay, it does not look good when you turn on 62 off of 96. It just does not look good. And the further south you go, the worse it looks.
Yeah. When's the last time you've been to a Redbow Festival?
09?
Really?
Yeah.
Been that long ago?
Yeah. I have no reason to go.
Sure, sure. Well, I mean, I know how you like to party with
Sure.
people in Buna. I was going to try to go this past time. You know, my kids and everybody. My kids and my wife went to it, and you know, just her take on it was kind of the same way. It was just like, but the Redbud Festival is cool because it's got rides and all that stuff, and you got plenty of people moving around.
Sure.
There's plenty of stuff happening. But I don't know, man. It just seems to me that there needs to be some community. There probably are. There probably are some community groups out there that I don't know about. But I'll be honest with you, somebody needs to take a scrubbing to that downtown stretch because you ain't ever gonna get.
It's never going to change. It's not going to change. Everything is moved out to 96, and out on 96, it doesn't. It just looks like it's just thrown together.
Yeah, and I mean, what's the deal with you got a nice building here, and then it looks like you've got a dump, like a city dump right next
door
it.
to it.
And then a couple of houses down, you've got what looks to be some dilapidated old meth dens, and then you got another nice house again.
Sure.
I mean, it just looks rough, man.
It does look rough. And like I said, when I was there, 12 years ago now, it didn't look like that.
So you've only been retired for 12 years?
That's long enough.
Yeah. I get it.
Not long enough. Or let me rephrase that. Not long enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we're being too hard on Buna, hey, forgive us. All I can say is, somebody needs to point out the light, especially on some of the stuff as far as the school goes. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know. My parents would have been happy if the administration would have passed me.
Passed you?
They'd have been so happy. They're just like, okay, one more step, we can get this kid out of our house. Because just a little bit closer. Please get him out, But, but I think there are some parents out there who'd be concerned if they found out that the administration was just categorically passing it.
I wonder how much parents just don't care anymore. Good. They're passing, get them out. I wonder if we're to that point.
I think there's a lot.
Yeah.
I think
it's more than what we realize.
It's especially the swingers. Especially the swingers.
Somebody needs to write us about the swingers that are going on.
It doesn't
Somebody write me and I'll take a look at it. We may bring that up next week. Swingers in Buna.
It doesn't shock me that there's swingers in Buna.
No.
Not at all. I mean, normally, I hate to say it like this, but I mean, if you want to go to a swingers event, okay, I'm gonna throw this out, and this is something you don't know about me.
In Buna?
No, this is something you don't know about me. But if you want to go to a swingers event, here's just a tip. Wait till about 1:00 in the morning. Roll down there to Silsby Walmart. Just take your pick. Take your pick. Take your pick, man. Because, dude, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. It doesn't shock me that there's a swinging population in Buna. Yeah. There's swinging populations everywhere at this point. Even over there in Lemonville. I mean, what kind of population y'all got over there?
Old people. Old people. A lot of old people. A lot of old people. When Debbie and I are the youngest, it's old people.
Going back to what you're saying, though, there's probably a lot of parents out there who just like, for God's sakes, just pass them.
Yeah.
Do whatever we got to do.
Get
them kids out of here. And let's go from there. Yeah. So, if you're just tuning in, well, we've been hanging out here for about an hour. About an hour and 10 minutes. So. Hasn't been too bad. Appreciate all the input and the back and forth with us here on the show. Go check us out on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. If you've liked us on Facebook, please go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Trying to get our subscribers up. We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. And hey, we'll be back here and back on the broadcast live next week, 7:00. If you've got a topic that you would like us to address, if you've got some information you would like to shoot over to us, go to our notonthepayroll.com website, and you can actually become a user or become a member or whatever the case is. Just put your information in there, and then you can shoot information over to us via email, and we can address some of the things that you guys are seeing and talking about. And so, anyway, so having said that, I really don't know if there's anything else that we need to cover. I
Not
think
that I can think of. We beat up on Buna again, part 3 next week if nothing else comes up.
if nothing else comes up,
Yeah.
we're going to try to get our tactical deal in. We do want to talk to everybody about how they can prepare. There's a lot of things going on right now in the world, and to be honest with you, you need to prepare. You need to be prepared, food, water, and the whole 9 yards. And we do need to take some time to
Yeah, we do,
investigate
actually.
that.
Yeah,
Because I'll be honest with you, it's almost like a weird internal feeling right now that, hey, something's fixing to give,
Yeah.
something's fixing to go down. And if you're not prepared, you're going to be, honestly, you're going to be in a bind. And so I think we just need to do that. We just need to do that next week.
I know we do.
Next week.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let's do that next week.
Yeah, I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Not on the Payroll. We appreciate you guys for listening. Appreciate you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. We love you guys. We especially love Buna.
We actually do.
Even though
That's why we're on you.
Even though we beat up on you a little bit, I do love that town, and I appreciate it. And I just want to see it do better. You know what I mean? I want to see Buna do better.
Exactly.
I think Buna can do better, and just like we all can. So here's the deal. We love you, but we are out of here. It's Not on the Payroll. Go to notonthepayroll.com. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you guys next week.
And that Buna Lemonville Inviter.
There you go.